What's up, everyone? Scott the TroutHammer here. First video of 2018 for you guys. That's because we've now got a January Lucky Tackle Box Panfish box to go through. So, gonna go through the box, talk about the different lures, show you guys how to rig them up and how I'd fish them. And we're at a new place. Never done a Lucky Tackle Box video here, at least not for panfish. We're at Freeway Lakes today, and looks good. We actually had a couple weeks of really mild weather here in Oregon. I mean, warmer summer than we usually have. I'm not gonna complain. I mean, things look more fishable, the air feels more fishable. I got a positive attitude about today because of the kind of warmer weather we've had, and good warm rain too. But anyway, we're also going to do something a little different with this box at the end of the video, so stay tuned to the end for that. Let's get into it. Get into some good old pan fishing. Alright, so, oh cool. Stick for Lucker Hunt. Get your list of what's in the box, description of each lures and their individual price. Another beer cozy. It's kind of funny, I was actually using one of the ones I've already got last night. Alright, so first thing I'm going to see when I open this box is this Golden Gate high-tech crystal clear fishing line. So this is a copolymer line made by Poochie & Son. So they're the same people that make P-lines, so definitely love that. And it's a 4-pound test, 650 yards. That's thank you guys. I actually need to reline my light action rod. So I think I'll do that on this tonight. We got some True Turn Panfish crappie hooks. Now, if you guys haven't seen these hooks yet, I'm actually going to open it up and show you guys. So these are a size 6 panfish hook, but if you guys haven't seen these hooks before, they've got a one-of-a-kind design. So they got that longer shank, so it's a lot easier to get the hook out of a smaller fish's mouth, especially if it's been gut hooked. But do you see the curve in the shank of that hook? That's so you can more easily turn the hook in the fish's mouth. Great hook for little kids if you're fishing with them and they don't know when to set the hook on a fish. It's taking the bait and the fish swallows it down, chokes it all the way down to their gut, and you gut hook them. Good way for kids to still fish and not harm fish. But I'm a 33-year-old kid, so I'm definitely going to use these. We got some size 2 mustad crappie hooks. So these are sort of like the Aberdeen hooks, but they've got a little bit wider of a gap and they got the longer shank. So the reason why these hooks are so popular for crappie fishing is because I've shown you guys in plenty of videos before, crappies have a really soft mouth. So with a hook like this, they're a lot more likely, especially if you have a larger bait that you can put further up the shank of the hook, they're a lot more likely to bite down deeper on the bait and bite down deeper on the hook, so you can hook the fish in the harder part of its mouth but still not gut hook the fish. Alright, and the first lure I see here, a standout deep water stacker. Now these are a very classic, very traditional crappie or perch rig. So this rig is a pre-tied over-under rig, sort of like a variant of the over-under rig, but it has a marabou jig on the bottom and a hook in the middle, sort of like a drop shot, but it's got this unique hook design with this sort of like a support bar that goes through the line. And the way that works is that keeps your bait that you put on that hook elevated, so you can put like a plastic on that, live minnow. I know a lot of people do that for crappie fishing, in a river or a bigger lake. But this is the kind of rig you want to use if you are looking for suspended fish that are closer to the bottom or just like a few feet up from the bottom of the water column. So I'm actually going to rig this up first, get this on a slip bobber, and cast this out and let it sit while I fish the other lures. Yeah, so you guys can see the way I got that rigged up. I got that slip float that's going to get this thing down to depth of about 7 feet. I got a minnow plastic with a crappie nibble on the first hook and just that jig on the other one. So this thing has a total weight of about 1/4 ounce. Pretty good. Don't need to add any weight to it. All right, we're going to aim for one of the deeper spots. It's sort of right out toward there. Yep. And we're just going to let that do its thing. Alright, second lure I see in here, we got these Best Lures spoons. Now, you know me, I love me some spoons, and this here is actually my favorite color of spoon, that Fire Tiger. That's the color of spoon I learned on, and right about the same size I learned on too. It was like maybe a 1/6 ounce or maybe a 1/8 ounce. They got 3 of them in here, so that's definitely cool. So the thing about this color is it's meant to mimic baby bait fish, so like baby perch, baby bluegill, baby bass. So we're gonna throw this around now on the light rod. Yeah, these look like they're actually some stout spoons for their size. Alright, so reeling this thing in the first time, it has sort of the same kicking action that a Castmaster does. It doesn't so much roll or spin as much as it sort of kicks back and forth and has more of a swimming action. I can tell by the look of that bobber that 7 feet's a little too deep. So yeah, casting this lure a few times, definitely tell you this is the kind of spoon you want to fish like a Castmaster for all intents and purposes. So, you know, you're going to want to use a lighter rod, lighter rod to give you some casting distance. You want lighter line to help this get down further in the water column, but also you want a slower, steadier retrieve to give it that kicking action. Too bad I didn't come out here when they stocked this place with trout, because this is my #1 color of trout spoon. This is my confidence lure. Fire Tiger spoon. And what's up, guys? We teleported. Yeah, freeway, a bunch of people showed up on boats and just wouldn't leave me alone. So I moved down to Waverly because there wasn't anyone out here. That's pretty much the only reason. We left alone to fish. So, gonna do the same setup we did there, have that out there with the bobber, and we'll get back to fishing the spoon. And real quick also, so if you guys aren't familiar with Oregon's fishing regulations, which if you live in Oregon and you fish, you should be, this is actually the legal limit. So the limit is 2 rods, and also the limit is 3 hooks. So there's 1 hook on there, or there's 2 hooks on that on 1 rod, and 1 hook, treble hook does count as 1 hook on this 1 rod. Make sure you know your regulations before you go fish so you don't get in trouble. You know, I actually think I might change this rig up a little bit since I'm in a different spot. Fish something a little more familiar to this lake. There we go, get a fat head worm on that. Oh yeah, of course it'll start raining. You guys want to know a secret about Oregon? Do you know why it's raining? It's because I'm out fishing. So the only times it doesn't rain are the times I'm not fishing. And when it's not raining, I'll go out and start fishing, and then it'll start raining. It does not fail. Alright, I've been fishing the spoon for a while. Time to get to the next and actually last thing in this box. Alright, the last thing we have in the box, which I am excited to try, is the Dynamic Lures Micro Spinner Bait. So this is a 1/8 ounce panfish spinner from Dynamic Lures. And so, get this thing open and talk about it. So you guys see that's the size of this lure right there, so it's definitely a lot smaller than a traditional spinner bait, but it's got that gold willow leaf blade on there, and this body is a trout. Yeah, this body is a trout pattern with some flashaboo around the hook. Looks like maybe a size 6 hook on that. Oh wow, there's a big brood trout swimming by right there. Of course I don't have anything rigged up for it. But anyway, so here's the thing. You look at a spinnerbait and you think, why a spinnerbait? Spinnerbaits excel in grassy areas, anywhere where there's bass that are really finicky, or in this case panfish that are really finicky, not wanting to bite. And this is something that comes across their face as a small school of fish, and the way it moves through those grass lines, that's when it triggers a strike, is because the weedless design of a spinnerbait allows it to come through those grass lines, not get snagged up. It makes it really terrific to draw a reaction from any species of fish, traditionally the bigger panfish, the predatory fish. So I'm going to rig this up the exact same way I did that spoon. I'm going to put it on my 7-foot light rod. I got 6-pound line on this. That should be plenty for this lure. So I'm going to fish this lure the same way I would a regular inline spinner, like a rooster tail. Just going to run it slow and try to stay close to the surface with this. I also want to see the way this thing looks on a retrieve. Okay, yeah, it gets a lot of good spinning action on that spinner, and this thing gets down pretty deep. This has some good depth on its own. And boy, it is really starting to rain now. It's really starting to come down. Whoa, hey, whoa, I actually had a hit. Running along this dock. Well, guys, I've got to cut it short. I'll see you in a little bit. Oh, now we're in my truck. Sorry I had to cut it short, guys, but I got out of there right before it just turned into a deluge. Just started dumping like a waterfall out there. Yeah, so the new thing I wanted to do with the Lucky Tackle Box opening and fishing videos that I do is I want to do a rating for the particular box. So I'm gonna rate these boxes on a 1 to 5 scale. I'll do like quarters and halves also, but I'm taking into account things like variety of gear, quality of gear, and value of gear that they put in those Lucky Tackle boxes. So this first box, I give a 4.25. I'll give it 4 1/4 out of 5. I love the variety of stuff in there. I love that they put a really good fishing line in there also, and a big spool. That's going to last me a long time. A good selection of hooks also, 2 good trout and other panfish lures that I'm going to use those once this rain stops. But I think the highlight of the box was the standout deep water stacker. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that here. I'm going to use that in the rivers. I'm going to use that to just hammer some panfish once the spring actually begins around here. It almost feels like spring now. We're definitely going to have an early spring here in Oregon, but the weather just needs to turn over just a little bit more. Need to hit one more click to really become fishable, because this is just frustrating out here. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Tell me what you guys thought about the January panfish box from Lucky Tackle Box. Let me know what you guys thought about the way I was fishing the lures and the way I explained the lures. But yeah, if you guys liked this video and you guys found this video helpful, please leave a like on your way out. If you're a new viewer, don't forget to subscribe, because that's how this channel is going to grow. I definitely appreciate it. That'll help me reach more people and help me help more people teach more about fishing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, tips up, tight lines, and have fun fishing.